Hurry up and go. Good morning to you. Welcome to Sunrise on Third from 92.7. Let's face it, listen, the traffic is mad. The sleep deficit is real. And that alarm clock this morning, it is your enemy of progress. But guess what? You made it. You're here. And that alone deserves a big congratulations. This morning, don't stress the things that you can't control. The boss will be all right. The boss will always be boss. The bills will still be there after breakfast. So take a moment, breathe, stretch, smile. In fact, text someone you love. Or better still, text someone who owes you money. Today we're choosing vibes over vibes. If the world wants to stress you, just look at the world in the face and say, not today, Satan, not today. I choose the soft life, living in this hard economy. Charlie, this life no balance. But some way, somehow we make it happen. We make it work. So whether you're stuck in traffic, whether you're chilling with that morning cocoa, or you're dodging your landlord, or in fact, you're regretting the decision you made to sit in that torture because the mate said, yes, last one. But you got inside the bus and you realized that you only 3 people inside. Remember that this is Sunrise on 3rd from 92.7. We have you logged and loaded. Let's turn the volume up. Let's turn the volume up on joy. And let's lower the volume on stress. And cruise into Thursday like it's nobody's business. Good morning again. Welcome aboard. As it always has been, it's a packed morning here on 3rd from 92.7 on Sunrise. We'll be delving into a lot of issues this morning. Jacho Kwesi says his trial was politically motivated. The national security versus Reverend Intim Fojo as well. Another SIM card registration looming. So stay with us here on 3rd from 92.7 on Sunrise for the entire morning from now until 10 a.m. where we say bye-bye to you for the morning or for the day. You're a major part of our discussions this morning. We'd love to hear from you at the right time. Send us your thoughts, leave us a message on our social media platforms at 3FM927. At the right time, we'd love to hear from you also on 0559-242-717 or 0556-910-154. My name is Noble Crosby Annan. I'll be doing this with Sixtus Dong-Ullo and Helen Appiah-Ampofo. We've got your morning. Relax, sip on that tea, sip on that coffee, and cruise with us. that's how we welcome the gentleman and the lady in the studio. Good morning, ma. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Do you know how to sing this song?
Clap, praise the Lord.
Eh?
Which one?
This one, the one you are playing.
Ozi.
Hey, what?
Ozi.
Oh, Kunzo, you have a partner. Ghanaians are spoiling song. It's not single. Play the song again. Listen carefully to the lyrics.
Okay.
I have a very big God who is always by my side. Almighty God.
I have to sing Almighty God by my side. It's not about
relaxing.
When it comes, they will play. Helen, good morning. How are you?
I wish I could say I was doing okay.
Oh, what? Your commute to work was with another?
No, today actually everybody was
Comported
behaving
nice.
themselves. Although there was a
They
gentleman.
listen to you.
I hope so because it's getting critical. There was a gentleman on a bicycle with his headphones in Accra here, in these dangerous streets. He couldn't hear all the people. I'm thinking, you don't like your life.
Yes, you're fine.
On a bicycle with
he's
your
looking for somebody
with
to
this,
take pass.
I think so. With his big headphones in. But I'm good. Hope you gentlemen are good. Reminds me of that. Is it that game we used to play? Draw Peter, draw. We don't know the words. Peter Sangram Katumani. Oh, the way la do.
Jesus standing at the altar.
I saw Jesus coming at the corner. Singing hallelujah. But the only one that I think universally we know all the words. Even that one cry. Lower, lower. Lower, 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 lower. Lower, lower. Satan is lower. Higher, higher. Higher, 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 higher.
Everybody knows that.
Higher. Serious Sunday school tune.
I tell you, Charlie.
Serious.
Stop spoiling songs. If you don't know the song, don't sing. What is that?
I have to find the words. Draw, Peter, draw. Is it draw? Draw, Peter, draw, Peter, draw,
You are on your
Peter,
own.
draw, Peter, Sangranka to my lady, all the way, do. Another very, very good one. If you know the words, please send it to me on our social media handles. I beg you.
Wait, sister.
It's no corner.
Everybody has their version rendition. Somebody says,
What did he say? Corner.
Yes, this one said corner. And then there are those who say conqueror. And sister say your own is what?
Altar. I saw Jesus at the altar.
Singing hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hey.
And others saw him standing as a conqueror.
Yes.
So I saw Jesus standing as a conqueror.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen. Jesus
And the corner one is
standing
what
as
we
a
know.
conqueror.
Means the corner now, the corner one is what we grew up with.
Yes.
The
As
corner,
for
they are not
which
here before.
corner, I don't know.
The corner is watching you. Charlie, it's Thursday. It brings a lot of memories. Sunday school was nice with these kind of songs.
Oh yeah, I used to love Sunday school. We used to
Yeah.
get pebbles if you answer the questions right. R.I.P. to Mrs. Mreku, Ghana Police Church, and she wasn't even just about the Word of God. She was about common sense. So we used to learn a lot of common sense in that Sunday school. Very, 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 very strict. But that was my first. I shouldn't say first and last introduction to the faith.
We in Sunday school where we go, they give us offering. We go and use it to play game.
Oh, me, I used to divide my offering.
Game,
What game?
video game.
Because you pay to have your turn.
So they give you money to go and do offering. You do small offering. The rest is.
I used to divide my offering because as for the offam and the tampiko, I had to have it. So I would just divide the money. Sometimes
Say
cry.
Jesus, you understand.
In fact, I'm confessing too much.
That's why the sisters at the corner. It's watching you. It's watching you sing hallelujah, amen. But Sunday school was nice. Childhood was beautiful. The memories were nice. Day by day, night by night.
Oh, that's one. Day by day, night by night. What's the rest?
Jesus stand.
This one again. Standing. But now I'm going to remix it. I like the conqueror because it makes sense. Jesus is standing as a conqueror.
Someone Jesus standing at the altar.
No comment on that one.
Altar waiting for sacrifice. Under the canopy of the Daily Democrat newspaper, on the front page, some George dismantles dubious NPP tech contracts. The story is on pages 2, 4, and 9 of the Daily Democrat. There's also Feed Ghana project launch rescheduled to April 12. And Amabwa targets full digitalization of lands commission. Jato defies court, vandalizes property at Medina. And Primpa GMFWA unite to champion gender equality. These are the stories that the Daily Democrat is reporting on its front page. Helen?
All right, let me take you to the Accra Times newspaper this morning. The front page has this to say: Ghanaians salute Jakpa and team for arresting fugitive Nigerian businessman amid allegations of protection by former NPP governments. Ayariga is a real gentleman, Afenyo Marking admits, and that's captured in page 2 of the paper. A sad one here: Sam P. Yali is gone forever. Speaker Bagwin weeps as he pays emotional tribute to same. And in fact, it goes along with the picture of the two gentlemen in a warm embrace. So that friendship is palpable. In fact, I have goosebumps. R.I.P. R.I.P. Sam P. Yali. And whenever I would listen to him speak on different platforms, he was one of the gentlemen who always seemed to put Ghana first. The conversation would take a nationalistic tone at some point in the conversation, devoid of the usual pak. A very passionate gentleman indeed, no stranger to our platform.
I think a month ago in the yard here, he was coming for the big issue on the New Day, and I was with Roland and Johnny, and I was teasing him how he has forgotten about his friends. He's left us behind in the trenches, and he's moving on. And we had a hearty laughter. That's just barely a month
ago. It's always so sad and so strange. You see somebody not too long ago, next thing you hear, you'll never see them
Life is
again.
Meaningless.
Also, show proof, not propaganda. Benjamin Kofi Kwashi speaking on the Honorable Reverend Intim Fodjo saga. Now, the New Republic newspaper says Peter's Aurora Empire secrets. Okay, they say scandals unveiled after arrest, and that story is captured in the paper.
Are the cars for sale?
I don't think so. I think
are the people who went to block
as it were, as we were told.
Yes, the arrest of the very good Reverend. I like the way they have arranged the car. It looks like a garage. Let me see, which one will they give me?
I think this is this is supposed to be the apartment. So for Benjamin, yeah. Justice prevails. Asin North MP cleared after 3-year legal battle. Government in drive to launch new Ghana airline, and Galamsey showdown fix the country movement rallies for May 1 protest. And I also saw that swelling on social media. A lot of people lacing their boots to send the message home that there's no place for Galamsey. I was listening to Aula Sewa. She is I forget what's eco-conscious Ghana. Yes, eco-conscious is a citizen, eco-conscious Ghana. And she says in places like El Salvador and places in Latin America where gangs in the past have taken hold of the country, certain places become no-go areas for the citizens. We don't want to wait for Galamseyers to become even more powerful before we dismantle the entire thing. So that's the latest there from the New Republic.
What you're saying, Helen, is true. So you know how the places you mentioned, how they start off, particularly places that are known for peddling drugs.
That's right.
They start off small, and then they colonize the entire area, and then they are lord there.
Exactly.
So in these Galamsey areas, it will start like this now.
In fact, it has started like that. When security services go there, they are shot at.
Yes.
Journalists are beaten.
The police for crying, they are beating them.
They are beating them. I'm telling you. So after a while, who becomes more powerful in an area like that? State security or these Galamseyers? They are armed to the teeth.
We'll get small Galamsey empires in various regions, various sectors. It will be hard to.
I mean, can you imagine that kind of scenario? This is eco-terrorism.
Yeah.
Right now, is it Ghana versus Galamseyers? Something has to be done. I mean, any movement, I support any movement that lets us highlight how dire, how severe
So
this
protest
Galamsey
is scheduled
situation
for
is scheduled for May 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just ensure that we have a peaceful protest. We want the same
if
thing.
it happens,
a peaceful
will be the,
march. I
will be
think
the
this
first
should be a march.
protest of the JM administration, the protest against the JM administration here. It will be the first one.
What are the demands?
What I saw on
enforcing-
social media was high up on the list was the revocation of LI 2462. If I haven't jumbled up my numbers, and also I'll pull that up. I saw that on Oliver Baka Vomawa's page.
Is the declaration of a state of emergency still
A
on the
state of
table?
emergency still on the table, amongst others, and I suppose overall that the optics will suggest that Ghanaians are really fed up with Galamsey, and we will not stop talking about it and asking duty bearers to protect us. Children are still being born with deformities. Water stability levels have not suddenly, gone back to regular. We're still ingesting poison. The situation is still dire. So whilst we've had that euphoria of, shall I say, newness with the change of government, a lot of our issues persist. And that's why when we spend a lot of time majoring in the minor, it really, really gets my heart going.
We spent 3 weeks discussing in Team Fojo and allegations.
And I have to
that
make a
it cannot
confession,
be-
Sixtus. If last week, was it top of the week, somebody was insulting me because I said, actually, I'm not buying the story, but something, now I'm actually on the opposite side of this spectrum. Because the number of times, Reverend Tim Fojo, and by extension, the NPP have been asked, okay, beyond the suspicion, what do you have? Then they'll come and say, well, there was a discrepancy in the flight. A discrepancy in the flight does not magically bring cocaine into the plane.
You know the latest. General Secretary says we want a bipartisan, probe, and independent committee to investigate the merits of the
Suspicion.
allegations. Come on.
Government has said that. Government has said that I've got nothing to. There's nothing here. Shown videos and the rest. We said na lie. If na lie, bring your own.
Bring the one you
I'm
have.
not
You
saying
see
that
the
just
one.
by virtue of government producing videos, it means that the
means that
matter.
they have-
But if you have contrary, why are you letting us? This question has been asked no less than maybe 78,000 times. Where is your proof? Now the tune for me has changed. Now it's we raised the matter. We had some suspicions. No. That is not how you started. That is not how the conversation started. I don't like it when politicians play these kinds of games with us. We are awake. Listen, the Ghanaian is so discerning. We can see through a multitude of tactics. We are not kids. Please have some respect for us. The tune has changed. We're just expressing our view.
You see,
A
I'm
view.
I'm guessing that the caucus leadership would have had some conversations with the good reverend by now to at least see what he has and what they can run with and how they can change the narrative.
They say that their tone is changing.
So, question, has the caucus leadership, has the Honorable Afenyo Makin and his team, have they sat down with the Reverend to ask him, Chief, the allegations you raised, no? Something there inside, can we help you fight this fight? Have they had that conversation?
They say that he's not alone.
Has
He will not
party
be alone.
leadership, no, in fact, the demonstration is that he's alone. Has party leadership sat down with him? General Secretary, have you sat down with the good reverend to ask the good reverend, Osofo, same way, no, Bibi was so.
But Sixtus,
Can
did you
we
not hear
help
them
you fight
yesterday
this
when
fight?
they said Reverend Tim Fojo is speaking on the behalf of the minority?
So-
Charlie,
Because
we all know, Helen,
if
I'm
he
saying
says-
what you
if he
are saying
said-
that we all, if you understand how these things work at the parliament, once some things get out of hand, you cannot isolate the person. They can't leave him hanging. But you see, I'm asking these questions because I'm just thinking, if there was something to it, the strategy would have changed by now.
We would have seen that something.
We would have seen something. If they were playing, if the good reverend was playing a long game, by now, with the way things are, the tide is changing, turning, we would have seen something. I mean, we are still seeing the same thing. They've come to arrest you. You say
yesterday they went there and they said the man started sending messages to media houses.
You
Come
know
on,
who send.
Don't send.
You know who send.
In fact, on the social media, he said, and I've been sleeping there. He said, arrest. I'm not afraid of arrest. Let them come. Assassination. I'm not. So I actually screenshot that.
That's on social
on
media.
social. So I actually screenshot it
On their site.
on the grounds. So I'm confused. You said you are not
friends of the
afraid
media?
of arrest.
Where are you?
We should
come.
I was reading the comments. They said when a man saw in the camera that they are coming, I went to hide in the kitchen and lock the doors. And then he started sending broadcast messages to journalists. Come on, they come to catch me.
In fact, when he was on Joy News, he was on set. He said they should come and arrest me now. Call for my arrest now. That's what he said. He dared. He was daring security agents. He said, "Come and arrest me." They've come to. You are resisting. I don't understand.
Well, please, for the record, he wasn't resisting.
Oh, that's
he was insisting on his right. I understand that he was asking for the warrant.
Exactly.
That is his right.
Who are the people who went to arrest Tim Fojo? Do we know them?
Question for the gods.
And I'm reading something from Kofi Bento. So he says that if a marks person tries to arrest you, you have a right in law to resist it. It could be a kidnap.
Yes.
If marks people try to enter your house, you have a constitutional right to shoot to kill them in your defense. And he's citing Article 13. Yes. I mean, you don't know the person. The person is coming, is not identifying him or herself. He may be wearing something, but is that alone enough?
I agree with that argument. I'm only sad that these kinds of arguments are made selectively at certain points in
that's
time.
right. That's right.
That is the only sadness for me at this point. Because, look, when national security, they described them as national security operatives at the time, invaded Ayahuasca West Wagon, the Baoleshi primary school, where a by-election was happening. And they were slapping members of parliament, active sitting members of parliament, left, right, and center. We didn't hear these analyses. They were hooded. They were not labeled, not identifiable. All we knew, in fact, they were in tanks and trucks, and as if it was a war zone.
Charlie.
That morning, in fact, we were all running for cover. Helen, see, the election, the polling station that morning, I mean, a lot of you, it was only the slap of Sam George you saw.
That's right. In fact, that video is recirculating now on social media.
Yes. It was only the slap of Sam George a lot of people saw.
That's right.
But even for media people, journalists who were there covering the election that morning, everybody had to run for cover.
Yeah.
You simply could not tell where the bullets were coming from, where the slaps were coming from. There was no label friend on your forehead. If you didn't look fit the "we are together" description, you were collecting. Woto.
Just physically assaulted.
I mean, you see, these are condemnable acts.
Yeah.
And we should condemn them. If they happened yesterday, we should condemn them. If they happen today, we should condemn them.
What is wrong under NPP is wrong under NDC.
It's wrong
right.
under NDC. Let us not keep quiet when a certain color is at the helm of affairs, but find our voices when the color changes. It is wrong. It is wrong.
We've completely lost
We've
the plot.
lost it.
We've lost our way.
We've lost it. And
lost it.
And the supposed neutrals, they are the problem of this country.
Fake neutrals.
Well, my word is...
You say a certain demographic will keep their mouth shut.
For some time.
For some time. We defend everything indefensible once the color is our favorite color. But the moment we see the shade that we don't like, then we are all out, blazing. We know every portion of the law to quote. We know every article, every clause, every section of the law. And we know all the common sense. And the morality is at peak.
That's right.
What is condemnable is condemnable. Let us not be mute
But I think it raises the question of the conduct of these security operatives, how they identify themselves and how they go on quote-unquote operations, the signals, their appearance, their conduct when they go send. I think it has been of concern for a very long time. For instance, when they went to when they were led by Mr. Jakpa to the BOG governor's house, now there's this one. When they went to Ayawaso West, they were described as national security operatives. But when they go, what do? They may be proper national security operatives, but when they get there and they are, all they know is force, without, maybe per their standard operating procedure, force is their first line of action. But
no,
that cannot be.
Exactly.
No.
So their work should be, how they conduct themselves outside should be interrogated.
Crosby.
They should find a fine way to do their work.
If the instruction is to go arrest Crosby,
Right.
if they are coming here, this building, to arrest you, the procedure is different from they coming to your house, because this is your place of work.
Right.
And they can't just, like I saw in my former employment, where some truckload of national security. Charlie, this description, I have no idea where everything is given the tag national security.
That's a movie.
And then you identify them by their macho, by their attire. Sometimes looks like bulletproof vest.
Yeah, so maybe khaki,
and something covering the face. That's how they typically
if
come.
they are coming to your house, they knock on your door, unless of course you are expected to be of flight risk. Maybe you have been playing hide and seek with them. They've been looking for you, so they are not getting you. And unlike the OASP, they cannot put you on a wanted list. So they decide to ambush you one early morning in your house. Then they get there. Even with that, they can't just get there and start breaking down doors. There definitely will be a knock. There definitely will be an introduction. There definitely would be an identification, a display of a warrant, and a subsequent arrest.
But did we have all the things you've mentioned? Were these conditions met yesterday when these people went to Reverend Tim Fojo's house?
That is what I'm not getting from any of the narratives that I am.
So in Tim Fojo clearly
and the media is not helping.
In Tim Fojo is saying that no, it didn't happen like that.
Yes, that is what he is saying. But was the media able to find that balanced story on the ground?
I mean, is national security going to speak to you as a journalist?
No,
Most likely not.
No, they won't speak to you on the record. But, I mean, you would find one of them within the team, or even the leader of the team, speaking to you off the record.
Right.
Trying to let you understand their side of the story. So that you are able to compare that to what the Reverend said. And then you are able to even put some of the concerns that have been raised by the Reverend to the operative. And off the record, the operative would explain to you. I don't expect a national security operative on such an operation to say, okay, journalists, come,
let's have
let's talk. No, I don't expect that. Because the identity of the operative himself is even worth protecting. I've always said that.
That's right.
But I expect that the operative would be able to give you some explanation as a media person. Because we are not enemies. My job there is to let the public understand what really is happening.
Sisters, I understand you, but in a part of the world, it seems highly impossible to, although off the record, to approach a national security operative.
Let's you yourself get a slap or so. Wait,
Sisters, in a stage like that, and then you're going to have like a tete-a-tete with him, asking him, you want to get information from. It will be very difficult to do.
We
know the kind of people. We are used to the work of the national security.
We are journalists.
Yes.
We find information, and we don't find information by always. I put it to you.
Fair enough, right?
By I am a journalist. You better speak now, or I will expose you. That is not it. In a lot of these instances, you would know somebody there. That is how we find information. In fact, there are times that you walk into a situation and somebody walks up to you willingly, because the person knows you. The person is comfortable sharing the information with you. The person trusts you. We are journalists. That's what we do. we are able to earn the trust of people to be able to share information with us. More so that the person who is sharing the information is interested in getting his side of the story out.
Especially when there's another narrative that is dominating the space.
You see, but when I listen to, and I've listened to at least 4 different media houses, trying to understand from the perspective of the journalist what really happened there. Because I don't want to take Reverend's word for it. I don't want to take national security for it. I want to hear a journalist who was on the ground and brings me a story that says that I went there, I saw this, I had this conversation, I had that conversation. These are the parallels that I have drawn from this. But a lot of the time what we find, and now I'm attacking my own, what we find is that we tend to put ourselves in the story, our opinion in the story.
That's right.
And try to tell the story from the
angle that aligns with our thinking of how
in fact, our own prejudices.
Our own prejudices.
I'm not getting that. And it's becoming difficult to know what really happened at Reverend's house.
That's how polarized this society is, whether you like it or yes. What was clear, though, yesterday was that by the time a number of journalists had arrived, the 88 Battalion had already invaded the place.
Yes.
Then I saw a call for more and more supporters to come. And at that point, I mean, what I did gather, though, listening to Afenyo Markin and also former Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwo, was that a conversation was had inside Reverend's home, and an assurance was given to the NIB that he will present himself to the security agencies for further.
Did they have to get to this point before he presented
and that is
himself?
that's why Tim Forjo, sadly, in the court of public opinion, doesn't have too much sympathy, because at the point that it got to yesterday, there was peak frustration. You know, he was baiting the agencies. Come and get me. Come and arrest me. If you like, assassinate me, and so on and so forth.
That is what takes me back to my earlier question, whether conversations have been had with him at the caucus leadership level and at the party leadership level. Because it appears to me he's a lone ranger, you know, trying to daring people, you know, taunting the authority, catch me if you can, kind of.
Yes. Then he called, you say you want to hear from NACOC and so on and so forth. There was a NACOC, I forget his role there, senior rep, who also presented a video. Then you, Reverend Ntimfojo, go on your X page and say that the videos given or provided by the NACOC rep is fake. So at this point, it is very difficult to understand if you are really looking to collaborate. Justin Frimpong-Kodia is the General Secretary of the NPP. Yesterday, as the scuffle was, not scuffle, but as all the excitement was going on at the residence of Ntim Forjo, talked about good faith. He says the operatives were not acting in good faith. Is it good faith for a sitting member of parliament in a particular committee to hold a presser on April 1 and then write to the committee on April 2 for further and better particulars? And on April 1, standing on some kind of strong authority, he said, my intel suggests this intel is flight information. If I want.
So you spoke about what the General Secretary of the party said. Let's listen from the horse's own mouth.
Certainly.
The words he spoke yesterday.
Whether it's the Director General, whether it's the Director in charge of operation, or from Jubilee House, or maybe for Fukwachi send them, they will know if they are doing the right thing. They shouldn't be perturbed about the numbers. But because they know what they are doing is wrong, that's why they've left. They can call so many people who come and support them. Their due process must be followed.
I even applaud the president. The president quickly responded by saying that there should be collaborative investigation. Then all of a sudden, the spokesperson to the president, who is throwing his weight about, and he must be sacked. He's rather undermining the position of the president. He rather said that even the investigation is useless because Honorable Forjo did not provide any evidence. Meanwhile, the president had instructed that there should be a collaborative investigation. And then you, as a spokesperson to the president, you are rather supposed to amplify what the president says and then explain it further. You are rather articulating a position.
And the minority caucus expresses a position on a matter through its a spokesperson on a particular matter. Holds a press conference, expresses a position on a matter. When have you seen in Ghana's history that we send about 20 gun-wielding NIB officers to go and pick him up to come and explain what he said? When? Is this the change? We're not back in a coup era. So that's the first issue, that when the Minority Caucus is raising questions that there's a particular matter, full-scale public inquiry needs to take place on that matter. You don't send gun-wielding NIB officers. Did you see the guns? AK-47s, cocked people wearing masks and balaclavas all over.
As to what transpired,
Inside, resistance.
As to what transpired inside, you saw a reverend in Team Fojo, a man not as tall as I am, right? A man not as big as I am, right? Had his house, right, sieged by over 20 persons who purport or held themselves to have come from the national security. As to whether or not they were from national security, we don't know.
With armed men, you know, about 20 of them. We don't need it. If you disagree, you disagree. In any event, the caucus is calling for a bipartisan inquiry into this matter. We should be able to judge all. But, well, they have de-escalated, they've left, they've gone back to wherever they came from. We want to assure the government that we will cooperate if they approach things in a decent manner. Absolutely. But we will not be intimidated. Let's engage. We are political actors. Let's assure the people that we are ready to uphold the promises of the Constitution and democracy.
So, the voices of some political actors, if you like. The last voice we heard was that of Helen Appiah-Ampofo. He's the minority leader, so he's the leader of the Honorable Intim Fojo, who is in the middle of all of this, and he's saying that if is it? But I mean, it did not have to get to this point where gun-wielding national security operatives will go to the house of a sitting MP to arrest him. It did not have to get here. The president, when you made the allegations, immediately, the last time I was saying that it didn't even have to take the president. Now, if there's somebody more than the president, you have to take that person. The president immediately said, please investigate.
Yes.
Come and give us what we have, what you have. Let us investigate. You say that you not come. And you are calling that they should come and arrest you. They have come to arrest you now. Your people say that. Why have you come to arrest
you? You even called for it yourself. You said you are ready. They came. And I mean, Honorable Appiah-Ampofo says, let's give Giorgio a chance first. Was that discussed before Honorable Jinapor wrote to the diplomatic corps to ask them to get involved and speak to? Is that how to Giorgio? I don't like it when politicians go on that tangent. At all.
I saw a quote from the deputy boss at Narcotics Control, and he was, if you like, almost begging Intim Fojo to come and let us talk. But still, the man did not come. He had to take force for the minority to ask that we should sit and Giorgio. But is that not what the government has tried to do all this while? That it was not listened to. It didn't reach the point where the anticipator will get. For it to get to this stage where national security operatives have to go to the residence of a sitting MP to try and arrest him. Well, we know that the minority, they are demanding that the speaker intervenes. They're demanding the speaker intervenes over the NIB's attempted arrest of the Reverend Intim Fojo. So they wrote a letter to the speaker to take urgent steps to ensure that interactions between lawmakers and security agencies are conducted by constitutional provisions and established parliamentary protocols. You know that about 2 days ago...
They are now...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
About 2 days ago, the vice chairperson of the Defense Committee, he said he was going to ask the speaker, write to the speaker to release or ask Intim Fojo to go to the security operatives so that the investigations, continue. So the story continues that it follows the attempted arrest of the Member of Parliament for Ascent South, Reverend John Intim-Fojo by officials of the National Intelligence Bureau yesterday. The arrest attempt is reportedly linked to investigations into allegations of drug trafficking and money laundering involving 2 international flights that transited through Ghana in March 2025. So it was in a memo through its chief whip, Frank Annan-Domprey, expressing concern that the NIB officials acted without regard for the procedures that govern engagements with members of parliament. Sixtus, again, the question about immunity, what it allows and what it does not allow, comes in play here. The Deputy Director of Elections of the NDC, Rashid Tanko Computer. So when the incident happened I chanced on him at an event here in Accra, and then we spoke with him. So he listened to what Reverend Intim-Fojo said when he was asked about his reaction to the arrest. Yes, Rashid Tanko Computer.
He was not a reasonable person. He was arresting people who alleged. Uncle Jacto was a reasonable human being. He was not a reasonable person. He was a reasonable human being. He knew what he was doing. He always come out with evidence and traces and ask you to follow it, and he will give you that. This man, you just sat there, made reckless statement, pointed out. He even said alleged. He said he has evidence. He has intelligence. There's a difference between saying that you have intelligence and you have information. If you say you have intelligence, you know what you are talking about. When you read about intelligence, these people, that's why I say they are just reckless people. And I always insist that some of them, they should be given tablets and they sit in the house. They shouldn't come to parliament again because they are becoming distracted in the country. These people will not allow this country to. And that is why Ghanaians, by their wisdom, since 1972, never gave them power until 2000. That's why I'm saying the young states, some of them were fortunate to meet them. And we know how they are. From 1972, they never got power until 2000. We made a mistake about bringing them to power. And we stopped them in 2009. They managed to come back again in 2016, and they have shown their colors. This time, we will make that mistake. At least 15 years is enough for them, so that they go and reform. This kind of behavior will not send Ghana anywhere. And I strongly congratulate the security agents for having picked them. All those loud-mouth guys who think that they are going to change the image of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC, they should prepare for it.
Who are those who
even the security agencies, they wasted time. The day he held the press conference, he should have been arrested on that day. See, an honorable person like that should be the first person, respecter of the law. He should be one. He's an honorable person. On top of it, he's a man of God. Okay, maybe he's supposed to be, but he's a man of God. Okay? These are people who revere a lot in this country. Men of God, the religious leaders. If you have evidence, enough evidence, you have. Look, he's a ranking member on Security and Intelligence Committee, right? Right. You have a chairman. You know the security agencies. You know their office. You know the bosses of this thing. Why couldn't you go straight to them, hand over this one?
So that's Rashid Tanko Computer, is the Deputy Director of Elections of the NDC, reacting to the attempted arrest, I should say, of the Reverend Intim-Fojo yesterday. He says that it is belated. Anyways, the conversations, they keep coming. The stories, this story keeps developing, getting legs and arms by the day. So stay with us here on 3FM and all the media general platforms. We'll be updating you on how this story travels. The call by the leadership of the minority to sit and find a way to deal with this, and the letter by, or the memo by Frank Annan-Domprey to the Speaker to intervene in the conduct of the national security in the attempted arrest of the sitting MP. Remember that Francis Xavier Sosu was also involved in some arrest issues. There was also the concern about how to arrest a member of parliament and all of that. So if the Speaker responds, stay with us. We'll bring you that conversation as well.
Let me just, before you move on, let me take some comments from under our stream.
Please do.
And I'm just taking them randomly, I beg.
But I know one name that's, although
Jamila,
he says it's random, I said
Jamila,
it.
but that one is a constant. Jamila too. I remain a friend, Jamila too. And Helen remains a rival.
I have no qualms.
And she's wishing us a stress-free Thursday.
Thank you.
Jamila, tomorrow is Friday. Come around.
We live in Ghana, so nothing like a stress-free Thursday. We'll try.
The NIB's action against Reverend Ntim Fojo was long overdue. He can't keep making baseless claims, refuse to cooperate, and hide behind parliamentary immunity. Critics like Atachia, calling the attempted arrest unlawful, ignore the fact that the ranking member's actions were also unlawful. And if the NPP wants to drag this into cocaine politics, we are ready. We haven't forgotten the MP caught in the UK or how cocaine turned into Kokonte and police watch. This is obviously from an NDC person. Musa Abatwa. So there's Musa Abat. Dash Stinkon.
Forget him.
Dash. First of all, use your real name.
Dash.
That is when we can have a conversation.
Dash, go and eat is more.
Yeah, use your real name.
Go and drink cocoa.
And
sorry, what did Dash say?
Then we can have a conversation.
What was the comment on there?
As they say, stop hiding behind 2 Ghana data.
Wait, what's the...
Okay, so Nkrumah Stephen says, I will call on national security to apply the NPP principle meted out to this. What I don't know what the NPP principle is. Jamila too has made a comment beyond. Okay, say Helen, NPP.
I've seen the message. Jamila too, good morning.
There's a comment from Teacher Kojo Tepa. It says, this dirty partisan politics is destroying the country. What is the need for this Rambo-style arrest of Reverend Ntim Fojo? Instead of contacting the MP to provide you with the information you need. It's okay. I don't really think it.
Okay, so Nana Boachi has 2 comments. Why do we confuse ourselves with NIB and national security? Charlie, this is a serious matter. You know, I was saying that anything that happens, we label national security. And it's probably would not be national security properly so called national security. It could be another agency. But we always say national security.
But when we say national security, do we not mean it in the generic term?
You see, that's the problem. Following the Ayawaso West Wagon incident, the commission that was set up, the Emil Short Commission, these issues came up.
The one that nobody minded their report. But,
yes. Say it again.
Continue.
I withdraw my yes. I didn't hear the comment. The commission said that, in fact, acknowledged that national security as an entity should not have a stand-alone force.
Okay.
Right.
It's a council. That council has a composition drawn from various security agencies, then chaired by the president. And that council can then draw on the police, the NIB, the military, as the case may require for a particular operation. But to have a standing force, for lack of a better...
for operations.
Is a problem.
Right.
And even where that happens, it should have the tag. So when they are coming to you, we should know that this is national security coming to you. We should be able to tell that this is NIB coming to you. We should be able to tell that this is CID coming to you.
Right.
We should be able to tell that this is... And all of these should be captured under that standard operating procedure. That they come, they identify themselves, then they show you their warrant and they arrest you. In which case you will not be able to say, I won't go.
Right.
Or I'm calling my lawyer. Your lawyer will meet you at the station. You get it?
That's right.
But at the point that they show you the warrant, if it's for search, they are searching. If it's for arrest, they are arresting. You are calling your lawyer, all right, but your lawyer is not meeting you at the point of arrest. Your lawyer is meeting
at the next stage.
At the next stage. And that is actually what you are entitled to.
Right.
For your lawyer to come and take over and start whatever he's supposed to be doing. But a lot of, and I don't think it's a good thing for national security that everything national security. Everything
That's right.
national security.
That's right.
Even when it is not national security. Well.
Sixtus, yesterday, so Reverend Ntim Fordjour, he and what happened at his residence, he tried to take a lot of the headline, but that was not the only thing. There were some more happenings yesterday, particularly at the courts. Let's start with Gyakye Singh. So I know you've been following it. Talk to us. What happened in court yesterday with Gyakye Singh?
You know, Gyakye has been accused of forgery, forging official documents.
Yes, forgery and perjury.
Of public officials and perjury and a number of other charges.
Canadian citizenship conversation,
citizenship.
The 2020 elections and all of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you recall, at a point, he had been injuncted from acting as a member of parliament for his people. That election was rerun in the constituency. He won the election. But these were actually on the side charges that were brought against him with the aim of putting him behind bars. Now, at the end of the prosecution's case, there was a submission that was made by his team, his legal counsel, which said that the prosecution actually had no case. They had not made any case sufficient enough to warrant a response from him. And so the court needed to acquit and discharge him, to say that you are free, go and sin no more. In fact, there's been nothing proved against you, so we cannot put you behind bars. And that was exactly what happened yesterday. So the charges were found to not have been sufficiently proved enough to warrant Gyakye Singh opening his defense. And so for the past 2 years that we have seen, I think a little over 2 years, he's been going to court on these charges back and forth. But yesterday the court said, prosecution, you have not met your burden of proof. So this matter, let us end it here.
So I understand the court also pointed out inconsistencies in the passport summary sheet and statutory declarations provided by prosecution witnesses, undermining their credibility of the evidence presented. That's according to the courts. So all of these are adding up to the reason why Gyakye Singh is saying that it was a politically motivated prosecution.
Yes. So that is what I summed all of it up by saying that there's an obligation on the prosecution to prove the charges that it brings against anybody. And at the end of the case that would have been made by the prosecution,
right,
you as the accused, you have the opportunity to make a submission,
right,
to say that all the charges that have been brought against me, these are the standards. The law says for you to prove, for the prosecution to prove that I have offended these laws, they have to be able to prove 1, 2, 3 standards. But in the particular case of these charges that we see against Gyakye Singh, the prosecution failed to prove those charges. So he didn't even have to go to the next stage of opening his defense.
To come and say that, what they are saying is not true because this and this and this.
Exactly.
Okay. That's
exactly.
I see. That's not the only thing, though. There's a bigger one, a bigger fish. Sixtus Dong-Ullo. We're all waiting for. We're all waiting for the Supreme Court. Yesterday.
Don't use that word that you want to use.
Which one?
You continue.
Frederick says I should say showdown. Is it true?
There was a show. There was no showdown.
He said we're all waiting for showdown.
We're waiting for a showdown.
That's what Frederick is saying.
Okay. But the showdown did not show.
How many judges? How many people were
this
on the panel?
This was a panel of 5.
Of 5. So we're all waiting for the 5 people to, after a few back and forth, and say that granted, not granted.
Moot.
But what happened to the CJ removal petition and the suit challenging the injunction applications, challenging the removal. What happened in court concerning the CJ?
You like on consult?
Because we saw you in the thick of things.
See how Helen is looking at it. Yes.
Yeah. It
I
was
was in court.
anticlimactic, super anticlimactic.
I sat through the and it wasn't only that case that was affected. There were a number of cases listed for the day, and a number of them involved the Attorney General or the Office of the Attorney General.
So Attorney General versus somebody.
Yes.
Or somebody
and the Attorney General. And all of those cases that needed the Attorney General's, if you like, response, they had to be put on ice because the Attorney General the Office of the Attorney General had no representation in court. The president of the panel hearing the Vincent
Office of the Attorney General yesterday had no representation in court.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm coming to give you the reason.
Okay.
So there was a communication from the Office of the Attorney General to the court,
right,
which said that the office had a workshop.
The Office of the Attorney General had a workshop.
A workshop.
Okay.
For its attorneys. State attorneys, and that workshop was going to last within a particular period of time.
Okay.
And the workshop involved or included all lawyers working at the Office of the Attorney General. And because of that workshop, they were unable to come to court, not just for the CJ case, but for all other cases that would involve
the Attorney
General's office.
How long was this? How long ago was that notice, and how long was the notice applicable for?
Well, that was not indicated. How long ago was not indicated, but I think it runs for a week.
Okay.
The workshop runs for a week or so, and it has the sanction of the Chief Justice. So the Attorney General had written to the Chief Justice. And the Chief Justice had approved that particular leave.
Okay. Johnny Hughes
from the court.
Okay. For a week thereabout.
Exactly. So for that particular period, because I'm not sure of the exact period, let me just say that if it's for Monday to Friday, for all the cases that would be listed and called in court involving the Office of the Attorney General between that Monday and that Friday, those cases would be put on ice. So all of those cases, in a layman's expression, had to be postponed.
Okay.
Adjourned until the office is available to hear or to argue in those cases. So when the Vincent Asafo case was called, the president of the court, Justice Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, gave the communication to the court. This was after Gov't Dame, former Attorney General, had announced himself and the team that he was moving with. He was there with his former deputy, Alfred Tuyaboa. They
as lawyers
for Vincent
Asafo.
Yes.
Okay.
So after he had announced himself, then the court noted. In fact, the president was going to read the communication. Then a state attorney from the Office of the Attorney General rose to his feet, announced himself, and announced his senior, who is a senior state attorney, and told the court that the Attorney General, out of respect for the court, had sent them to the court to tell the court that they would be unavailable for the hearing.
Oh, wait, so when the AG wrote to or sought the leave of the CJ that they were going to this workshop that was, if you like, allowed or approved by the CJ, did the CJ, do you know whether or not the CJ communicated that to her fellow judges? Yes.
Yes, the CJ communicated. That is why in all of the cases that involve the Office of the Attorney General, they will call the case, then the president of the court would say that for this reason, we are unable to hear your case, and we are also unable to give you a date, the next court date that you should appear. We are unable because that is not within our authority. Once the office resumes work, the cases will be relisted, and you, as the party in the case, will be communicated to.
Okay.
So the indication is clear that the court was fully in the known. What surprised the court was that there was a delegation from the office of the Attorney General, notwithstanding the communication that had been given to the court.
Yeah.
2 lawyers came, announced themselves, and
announce themselves as what?
As lawyers.
Okay.
With the office of the Attorney General.
Okay.
One is a state attorney, then that's his rank. The other is a senior state attorney.
Okay.
Okay. So they announced themselves, and then the president of the court, out of surprise, said, Counsel, we're not expecting you here today, because there's a communication to the effect that you are all away, locked up in some workshop. So what brings you here? Then the state attorney says, well, the Honorable Attorney General has sent us with a message out of respect for the court. We know there's a communication emanating from the office of the Chief Justice based on the application that had been made by the Attorney General. But out of respect for the court,
you're coming to remind you.
We have come to tell you directly in person that we will not be here for this case. So the president said,
but they were there.
Yes, but the president. So the president of the court said, so you have come to tell us that you won't come. Well, those were some light-hearted moments in court yesterday. The court is not always so chinchina, so tensed up, and so
they came to tell the court that
they won't come.
Hey, Junior, me. Wumba. Easy, baby.
So there was no showdown. There was no showdown. There was no showdown. But the showdown will definitely come.
When?
When they resume. After the workshop.
When they come
and when the case has been re-enlisted.
They went to court to tell the court that Major court, Maba. But never catch your day.
Mind you, that was the appearance was out of respect for the court.
Certainly.
The Attorney General could have just said that, okay, let's leave it at that.
Because
the communication has been made to through the Chief Justice, so let's leave it.
Okay.
But the court is the Supreme Court is the highest court of the land.
Right.
And you can't just communicate through paper and sit down.
Yeah, you have to go and
so
show your
you
face.
find a way to show your face, to tell the court that based on this communication, we are unavailable for business.
Based on the communication, we are here, but
so we are here to tell you that we cannot do business.
Thank you. Helen, thank you. Charlie, it's a good time to hear from you. Call us on 0559242717 or 0556910154. Let's pick our first caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my brother.
Senior, how are you, sir?
Oh, well, it's great.
Talk to me.
In fact, the law is quite an interesting institution.
I tell you.
I was listening to a debate or explanation in the studio.
All right.
It's quite interesting.
Sixtus.
No wonder nobody is ignorant before the law. My brother, quick word. Is this an accountable Reverend issues trying to save off the missing continents? Because that of the continents is no more being highlighted. one thing I like about your outfit is you always give us behind the news. All the things must be clear to the citizens.
Right.
Who are the taxpayers? Because whether cocaine, money laundering, whatever it is, at the end of the day, the objective is come out with your evidence. But you see, we are beginning to practice some kind of political tactics. When we do things, we hide behind the scene of our political parties. But we're even put on Monday, the invitation of Honorable Safu was see so that NPP said they have 26 questions to ask. Have they asked that question concerning all these issues? And all the time, we are only throwing that into our eyes and citizens. And Ghanaians, to me, are now far awake. So the security operatives should do the issue and the right two things. Now, Honorable Appiah-Ampofo is saying, Jojo, you already sent the name of Ghana to the international community. You know, so my brother, General Champion once said, you know, even at the military, he was organizing press conference. He once said, you can date me, criticize me, but remember whatever you say beyond will go outside these shores, will go outside the shores of this country, and it will bring us out badly. So we shouldn't think we are smart at a point when it is against us, or when we are caught in the web, then we now cry for foul. It will not help at all. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Is that Noble?
Yes, sir.
Noble, good morning. This is Papa Bis on the line.
Papa
My
Bis.
greetings to you, to Sixtus, and then Boflate Kele.
Certainly, Papa.
You know something? These people, they always think that they are smarter than Ghanaians. I mean, the NPP. When they are ruling, they use all means to do things that will satisfy them. When a similar thing is being done under another regime, you see them coming up, rising up against that order. You know, former member of parliament for Ningo Pram Pram, Itimesa. Do you remember under Kufuor's regime, an incident happened at Nima area there, and then he was whispering to someone, Itimesa, Honorable Itimesa, late Itimesa was whispering to one or two people, one person. Based on that whispering alone, a member of parliament was arrested by the authorities under Kufuor's regime. They didn't ask for any warrant. They didn't ask for any clearance from the Speaker of Parliament at that time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Today, see them. They are in opposition, and when they're about to arrest their own, they are saying that there should be clearance from the Speaker of Parliament and all these things. Aside Itimesa's own, you heard of Susu's own, Honorable Susu, Honorable Defiamako, and the rest, and then Honorable Dominic Ayini. They were arrested, no clearance from any Speaker of Parliament too. No, I mean, just think about it. Like you rightly said, your team, you said you are ready to be, if they should come and arrest you, they should come and do it. You disrespected the president of the land. Submit yourself. You didn't do it, and you think you are God, or you are the owner of Ghana. This guy has to be arrested, no matter what, for disrespecting the president and disgracing the nation. Our nation has turned into cocaine something. But they are well known in that cocaine trade because they are former MP. Eric, I'm watching.
Papa, it's okay. It's okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Crosby.
Yes, sir. Fine. How are you, senior?
Not bad. Let me say good boss, Dr. Tom. I have tried to that way he is not disappointed and also president as well. You see, I don't know the team. But let me find out from you, Crosby. You see, isn't what the current city doing the big NPP had to use to than when the NDC was in the position.
You're asking, wasn't the current CJ what?
Yes. Did the decision of the NDC.
I'm struggling to hear you. Wasn't the current CJ?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I just want to find out, when the NPP was in power, they were in power.
Yes.
Everything about the CJ shows what? Is doing the bidding of the NPP. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. Look at the person that filed the injunction to restrict the president from what? From accepting the petition and to doing what? For the removal of the CJ. Here is the case. It was another Appiah-Ampofo. Now look at the two lawyers. The former what? Attorney General and the justice. Both what? The minister and the deputy. They are defending what? The CJ now. Okay. Because I remember when they were in power in 2024, what? Minister and his deputy. It is the same issue. When they go to court, the CJ hear them. Now the NPP is in opposition. Look at what is happening. They are restricting people that have petitioned the president. That the president was to seek for the removal of this. Look at what they are doing. I'm pleading with my party once again that my party should be proactive when it comes to these NPP members. Because see, with their numbers that are referred to them as nano, they want to distract with government business. So we need to be proactive when it comes to dealing with the NPP.
All right.
Because see, the frustrate the eye care is not taking because they want to buy time.
Thank you.
Look at the name what Bishop mentioned. All those that they are residents here and there.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
This is Frederick from Otaba. Currently, I'm in Accra.
Okay, Frederick, let's listen to you.
My brother, if any man or NDC folk are born by a man or a woman, should go to Honorable Forger's house to do attempt that they want to arrest him. Those people they send, claim they are NIB or whatever, wearing masks to a whole Honorable MP's house. It's uncalled for. What if the man did that warrant his arrest? That's the question we are asking. The man called for public hearing. There should be a commission of inquiry. He will appear and provide his evidence. If NDC truly know no such thing, transaction or activity went on at the airport, they should open commission of inquiry on camera. That the man will prove to the whole world. NDC think because of 67 something they deceived Daniel. It's only cocaine that they can sell to settle their debtors or sponsors. They lie. This country is not sold to John Mahama, and it will never belong to the NDC. Ghana is for all of us.
It's okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Lincoln.
My brother, how are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. Talk to me this morning.
Okay. Good morning to you, your listeners, and Professor Kusianin, the security expert. We are lobbying for him to be given appointment by President John Dramani Mahama. Let me ask this question. Why the NPP always think that they are better than the rest of Ghana? Why do they always think that they need some kind of treatment? NPP, anything that happened in their time is right. But if it's happening in the NDC era, it's wrong.
When it happened, get away with it. When it happened during the NPP era, we were very vocal about it to say that it was wrong. So if it is happening this time, like we said, what is wrong under NPP is still wrong under NDC. Don't you think so?
My brother. Let me continue.
Please do.
You see, NPP, they recruited those mask-wearing security agencies. NDC, we took over power, and we never sacked them because they have work to do under this government as well. So if anybody sees any security man in masks, the NPP have to shut up because this is the time that we will make sure those mask-wearing security officers will do their work as expected. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Baloba.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Noble. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Senior?
By the grace of God Almighty.
Nice.
I'm also terrible.
Talk to me briefly, sir.
How is Johnny?
Johnny is very well. He's fine.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Take my details to him for me.
Right.
Let me greet your cherished listeners. And straight to the guy that spoke before Lincoln, before me. Look, when you people are in power, we didn't hear you anywhere talking or defending your party. You messed this country. And look, I will tell to President Mahama that about the law that covered the MPs. He should do something about the 1992 Constitution. It's focus. I'm telling you the gospel fact. Because look at the allegation about this football statement. Imagine, Noble, if it were you. By this time, you will be going in up and down, or you are in police custody, or be NIV or something. It's true. The law that govern or guide the MPs, they should remove that. At times, it pays me a lot. And if they are in our constituency, see how they talk. Immediately they want power, then they change their attitudes to. President Mahama, Ghanaians are watching you from head to toe. This is not early. Start it now. Grab everybody who took this country, even still one person, before our land. Look, MPP will stay in opposition for maybe 16 years and over. President Mahama is in right direction. I'm telling MPP, and that guy should stop, because no man always, if he come on radio at times, I want to switch off before I will tell him if he's done. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's pick our last caller for the morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. My brother,
Hello?
How are you, Senior?
Yeah, Noble, I'm fine, sir.
Nice.
Yourself?
I'm well, thank you.
Is it the Noble I know?
Which one do you know?
What name do you have apart from the Noble?
My name is Noble Crosby Annan.
Oh, okay, Noble Crosby Annan. I was having a friend that then, is it Yonkupa FM? I thought it's you.
No, it's not me.
I hope everything is fine this morning.
I am very well, sir.
We thank God Almighty and God's ancestors. I am Tutu Pachi, Ashima Suva Kanabli, calling you right from Domeka, precisely Kaifa. My brother, sometimes we try to be decorous of whatever we say on air. But sometimes some of the comments from the other side are very irritating. If I refer you to this guy who just called, that Frederick or something, whatever he calls his name, look at what he came to tell us right now. Just listen to him. Let me tell him, before I proceed, the next arrest of the Sofumeko, they will see we the NDC youth too. And we will expect this MPP leaders so that we can crash them. We show ourselves something. Let me proceed. You know something?
Right now that you want to clash and you show yourself something small, so that will happen. Like,
Man.
I rather this one they didn't try.
Hey, Junior.
You want to clash and you show yourself something, so that what?
What a breath.
Let's take our last caller, then we'll let Milishen come. Hello, good morning.
Cosby, good morning. Anand.
Anand, talk to me briefly.
Cosby, God bless you. Cosby, you know, this of our MPP colleagues, they sometimes, we don't know how they behave. You, in Team Forjo, you said something. Just go and give the information. That one, you need arrest. And then also, you see, right now, there is information that this man, Abronye, he also saying that I will stay with the cocaine money. You will not get any reasonable person to tell him that what you are doing, you are going overboard. But when arrest comes, they will behave like the way they are behaving.
Well, there are a lot of calls coming in, but we'll have to pack it in, unfortunately, for the Community Voices segment. We love you so much, and we thank you that you keep us in mind, that you keep your dials logged with us on 3FM 92.7. But it's now time for sports with Bill Ishen. It was an interesting night yesterday. Champions League nights, they are always sweet nights.
Oh yeah, we love it.
For investors.
We love it.
But two nights ago, it was not sweet.
So you invested in Real Madrid?
No, I said I only do treasury bills.
Are you sure?
I only do treasury.
Are you sure?
I only do treasury bills. I look at the stock market. DDP.
But did you fathom that Arsenal would beat Real Madrid?
I thought it was possible. I thought it was possible.
2028 campaign.
I beg you. That's the one that I want to. I mean, I thought it could be done. I thought it could be done. Madrid had been struggling for a while.
Yeah.
For the past couple of weeks, they were conceding. They were not taking their chance and all of that. But I didn't expect Arsenal to run riot like that.
I enjoyed it.
It was sweet. Watching it was. Charlie, people have hatred for Madrid in their hearts.
Charlie.
But don't be surprised next week.
Bernabeu.
It will be next week, Wednesday or Tuesday.
Wednesday.
So they will cover the stadium. And then the noise will be inside the stadium. Don't be surprised that in the first 20 minutes, Madrid 3-0.
In fact.
Don't be surprised.
I won't be surprised, but in fact.
And then they'll play 3-0, they won't score again. And then they'll go to extra time. I'm better back in extra time now. And I'm better. I'll be extra time in area. I'll penalties somewhere. It was nice match. I do about nothing. But yesterday it was nice. Barcelona, Charlie,
they do.
Their attacking department is nice to watch.
Yeah.
So there's Rafinha, there's Lewandowski, and then there's Yamal. Solid team, solid trio. So if you're comparing that three to Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, which one would you think is most potent?
Hey, Charlie. MSN, I think MSN was different gravy. I mean, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch, they had that understanding. Nice, they used to roll together as friends. I think they built a very strong bond. And
can this trial match up to that?
I mean, it has a base, but the thing is, Lewandowski is very old. So I don't think he can maintain that for.
Yesterday, the fourth goal, Charlie, the man they ran, I know they go. Anyways, let's check us away in sports.
People living la vida loca, yeah, but now I got a message. Everybody here better stand up and listen. Feels like the love is gone missing, but in a door soon there is too much sinning. See, it's time that we stand together as one. Spread the love and
Let's do some sports now on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Bill Ishen. Coming up, Barcelona and PSG victorious in the Champions League quarterfinals. Matic and Onana go head-to-head as Manchester United prepare to face Lyon. And an emotional Luka Doncic in the NBA led the Lakers past the Dallas Mavericks. The details now. After a win and a defeat in April's international window against Senegal, Akosia Ejay highlights some key talking points from the Black Queens training tour in Senegal.
Yoke Green.
in this collab for the games, brought in some vets into the team, including Felicity Esiako, Ernestina Bambila, and Grace Banwa. They were all brought back into the team as they've been in and out of Kim's side. Then again, we also realized the fact that the coach started to vary the positions of the players. And we're looking at the fact that he's preparing for the Women's African Cup of Nations, where the Black Queens will be making a return to after missing out the 2022 edition. And so he's played a player like Josephine Mbunsu more at the right back position, which she has also done very well in that position. And so we're looking forward to what the coach will have for the other players. Then again, we talk about the fact that Coach Kim Las is still getting used to the physical nature of the African game. He's had coaching experience in the US, in Cyprus, in Asia. But when you come to Africa, there's one thing, the physicality of the game, which he's still trying to grapple with, which he's trying to get the players to understand, to be less physical. It's worrying, as I said, to see that the Black Queens are not able to win games against Senegal in a fashion where through set pieces, it's like we do that all the time. Something that the coach would really have to work on moving forward, because in the women's game, lots of teams concede goals to set pieces. Then finally, we know that the coach just came in. He's played 3 games, 1 against Morocco, 2 against Senegal, still building up to the women's AFCON, but he has another international window where he gets to still get to know more of the players and apply everything that he's learned from the squad. Hopefully, at the time, he would be able to call the players that he would need for the Women's African Cup of Nations as it draws nigh.
Those were the key talking points from the Black Queens, according to my colleague Akusia AJ. Now moving on, Ernest Henry Nogbe, the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee for Sports, says the Minister of Sports and Recreation, Honorable Kofi Adams, will soon reveal the Black Stars budget from the March international window to the public. There has been a public outcry in the last few weeks for the budget to be released. He spoke to sports journalist Gabi Ofe.
The minister is preparing to brief the media. He will brief the media soon about what has transpired so far. But you see, sometimes he wants to give opportunity to the GFA to do their work. You know, he's the minister for all the sectors. And Black Stars, or this game is just a percentage of his responsibilities. So he will brief the media very soon about where he took off and where he is now and where we are heading towards. You know, there's a match, I don't know whether there's they say a unity game in London, May, I believe, So the minister will brief the media on all these matters.
The minister will brief the media on all these matters. That is what the expectation will be. But let's move on to the UEFA Champions League, where Barcelona manager Hansi Flick says he's happy with his side's performance after they beat Dortmund by 4-0, but expected a bit more.
I'm happy. I think we made a really good match. Performance was good, but also in some points we have to make it better. So I was not happy with the mistakes we make, because it's this is what they love. Dortmund is really a good team when they get the ball and counter attacking, but we defend very well, and also especially in the second half. And I'm happy about the result and also with the performance.
That was Hansi Flick, the head coach of Barcelona. Now, Aston Villa boss, that is Unai Emery, says Villa will fight back at the Villa Park to overturn the 3-1 deficit against PSG.
It's not changing a lot, because 2-1, we were thinking for the next match playing to win, and with 3-1, still being the same. We need win the next match, not only for 1 goal, for 2. But we are here and enjoying. I'm very proud of the players, of everything we are in Aston Villa, how we are developing and doing with our increase in our demands, and play here against PSG, and we compete fantastic. And we were close to get good results. At the end, with this goal, is still more or less the same, because we will win the next week, I believe. Villa Park is our home. Hopefully we can feel there stronger. We can get there duels getting better than today, and as well collectively try to have our moment more than we had today.
That was Unai Emery, the head coach of Aston Villa. Now, PSG boss Luis Enrique says the club has departed from the DNA of using renowned players and are now focused on young talents who make sure the team competes for a trophy every single time.
Well, I think from the last year and especially this year, we changed more or less our DNA, trying to sign young players with a lot of quality. We have that resources, and I think it's important try to develop our idea not only with the young players, which is important, but also with the experienced players. And I think we are in that mix, that important mix, and with the confidence and with the enough energy to try to go through the next phase and try to make history in Paris, because it's our goal, trying to win all the trophies, and it's an ambitious goal, but at the same time it's a motivating situation for us, and I'm very happy with the performance today, very happy with the performance the whole year, and I hope we can continue in that way.
That was PSG boss Luis Enrique. Now, former Manchester United player Nemanja Matic has hit back at Andre Onana following the goalkeeper's comments ahead of Manchester United's Europa League quarter-finals tie against Lyon. Now, Onana said United are way better than Lyon, leading to Matic's response of labeling him as one of the worst goalkeepers in Man United history.
I don't know. To say that you need to have cover for something like that. Onana. I respect everyone, but to say that, then you need to get the answer. If you are one of the worst goalkeepers in Man United history, you need to take care what you are talking. If David De Gea or Peter Schmeichel or Van der Sar say that, then I will question myself. But if you are one of the statistically the worst goalkeepers in Man United modern history, then he needs to show that before he says so. We will see.
We will see. That was Matic for Lyon on his comments on Andre Onana. Now, Andre Onana issued a response on social media right after that, and this is what he said. Quote, "I would never be disrespectful to another club. We know that tomorrow will be a difficult game against a strong opponent. We focused on preparing a performance to make our fans proud. At least I've listed trophies with the greatest club in the world. Some can't say same." He's talking about Matic, who didn't lift a trophy with Manchester United. Now let's move on to the Conference League, where Enzo Maresca, the head coach of Chelsea, says it's good for the Premier League to have 5 UCL spots after Arsenal beat Real Madrid on Tuesday. But it is up to his team, who are preparing to take on Legia Warsaw in the Conference League, to manage themselves appropriately to make a spot in the competition.
First of all, it's a good thing for English football to have 5 teams in the Champions League, next Champions League. We're going to try our best to finish top 4, top 5. Now, I said many times, we are here for the conference in terms of Premier League, in terms of Champions League. I think that from now on, already the last 10 games, is how we manage the emotion, because we won against Tottenham. For me, draw against Brentford for the way he arrived, for me it's a good point, because we deserve to win. We shot many times, but sometimes that kind of game you lose. And in this moment, even 1 point could be important at the end. So it's just how we manage that kind of emotion. Okay, we win, we are happy. We don't win, we are sad. Will be a race until the end. And as I said, we have been there all season, and hopefully we can be there at the end.
That was Enzo Maresca, the head coach of Chelsea. Moving on to the NBA, Luka Doncic was overwhelmed with emotion after he returned to his old stomping grounds, the Dallas Mavericks. He led the Lakers with a season-high 45 points as they defeated the Mavericks by 112-97.
No, honestly. Everybody saw me the way I reacted to the video. All these fans, I really appreciate it, man. All the teammates I had, everybody had my back. So, I'm just happy, this guy, I love these fans. I love the city. But it's time to move on. So many emotions. Can't even explain it. Brought tears to my eyes. Like I said, I came as a as a young kid here with 18, and not knowing what to expect from NBA. And, you know, they made me feel like home, and it's just a lot of great memories.
Great memories for Luka Doncic. And officially, the Los Angeles Lakers have qualified for the playoffs after defeating the Dallas Mavericks. But here are some other results in the NBA. Raptors defeated Hornets 126-96. Bulls defeated Heat 119-111. Jazz defeated Trailblazers 133-126. The Nuggets defeated the Kings 124-116. Spurs defeated Warriors 114-111. Suns lost to the Thunder 125-112. Clippers defeated Rockets 134-117. Later tonight, Pistons versus Knicks, Pacers versus Cavaliers, and the Nets will be facing the Hawks. And so here are the standings. In the East, Cavaliers are first, Celtics second, Knicks third, Pacers fourth, Bucks fifth, Pistons sixth. These are the top six with regards to the players. Remember, the top six get automatic spots to the playoffs. And the NBA season is gradually approaching its end. About 79 games have been played. Just 3 games more to the end of the regular season. And then we'll see which other teams get their places in the playoffs. In the Western Conference, the Thunder are first, Rockets second, Lakers third, Nuggets fourth, Clippers fifth, Grizzlies sixth, Warriors 7th, and Timberwolves 8th. And so it's a very, very tight race in the Western Conference, because the 8th seed, that is the Timberwolves, are just about 1 game behind the Warriors and the Grizzlies as well. So we'll see what happens in the next few days with regards to the games. That's all for sports for now on 3FM Sunrise. Remember, there's more sports on our social media outlets at 3sportsgh and on our websites at www.3news.com/sports. My name is Bill Shen, and until next time, have a great morning.